Hey everybody, CCJ Chief Editor Jason Cannon here with a different type of test drive review for you. I'm going to be test driving this mattress. We're inside the new Volvo VNL sleeper. I'm going to be spending the night in here. I've done plenty of time in sleepers before. I've done some time in a Volvo sleeper before, but this is a brand new VNL. This truck's been on the market for less than a year. I'm pretty excited to spend the night in this truck, which I'm going to do here in just a little bit. It's 10:30 local time here. It's past my bedtime. But before we get into that, I want to throw this over to Duane, who's Volvo's product marketing manager, and he and I are going to go over some of the amenities in this truck and how it's changed slightly from the old generation VNL to the new generation VNL. And for all the latest news on Volvo's trucks and basically everything else trucking related, subscribe to the newsletter by clicking the link in the description below. Duane, I want you to give us a little bit of an overview of what we're looking at here in this sleeper. A lot of the amenities that we see here are pretty standard, the closet, the refrigerator, television, some of the storage components, but this is a really nice, really flush sleeper here. So what makes the VNL sleeper special?
I think where we're sitting here right now, we're sitting here at this nice comfortable dinette, which you don't typically find in most sleeper configurations. And this is going to fold down into a bed, very comfortable bed for you, which is pretty quick, easily turn around. It'll take us 30 seconds to throw this thing down. So that's kind of the first part about it. As you can see, it's very roomy. I'm 6'3" and I have a hard time hitting the ceiling in this thing. So there's quite a bit of room. We do have a bunk that's above us. You got a full hanging closet here. Pretty good sized closet. That seems to be some of the concern about some of the customers, like how big is the closet? You got plenty of room in there.
Yep.
You've got your inductive charging here. Simply you're going to put your cell phone right here on the pad here. You will see a little amber light up. If you want to charge it through a C port, you have that here as well, along with a 12-volt source and 110 volt. Your inverter is right here, simply just by pushing this button to make the 110 volts work. And then as we go into the control panel, this control panel is going to manage our parking cooler here and also our radio functions and our inverter as well. So we're just going to go ahead and hit our power on here. And we can look at our battery, how much battery life we have left over. You're also looking at the temperature that we have set here for the sleeper area and also in the cockpit area. So we can manage both of those separately. And we can set an alarm for you if you like, so the lights will turn on. We also get an audible as well through the radio if you'd like. We have an under footwell light down here. And then above us here, there's your main light. And then you have that crescent light as well. And those can be linked to the alarm. We're going to go ahead and turn on our inverter, and we can hit set auto here for our climate control. You can hear the fan come on right now, and that'll keep the cab running here about 7.5 hours on the integrated parking cooler. It's an electric parking cooler. It runs off of the battery system, 24-volt system. It'll run for approximately 7.5 hours, and then the truck will start up, and it's going to run for about an hour and a half.
An electric parking cooler is not an APU, right?
It is not an APU. So how that functions is the alternator on the engine is going to charge the batteries. Some of the challenges you have with starting an engine off of the battery systems, it drains the batteries and puts a big load on it real quick. We have a capacitor on that. So all the engine starting and stopping is done automatically. The starting is done through a capacitor setup. Charging is monitored, so we're always monitoring the temperature of the batteries to make sure we're not overcharging them. And then the battery system also turns off as we no longer need loads to keep parasitic loss. So the design there is to keep the life of the batteries extended as long as they possibly can, because we are pulling load off there for the integrated parking cooler. Again, that's just run by the battery system.
All right, well, I'm the one spending the night in here tonight. You promised us that this could be converted from a table and a dinette area into a bed in 30 seconds or less. So do you feel like you could really hit that 30-second mark?
Well, let's see if we can do it.
All right, let me get out of your way.
And there you go, Jason.
It's 11:35, way past my bedtime. The battery indicator back here in the bunk is showing about 3/4 charge for the parking cooler. It's a blistering 62 degrees back here right now, and I'm going to sleep. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. We're back outside the truck after spending the night inside the truck. That was a very comfortable experience. Good night's sleep last night. Very comfortable mattress, lots of room, very quiet. The parking cooler, we did run out of juice there about 2 o'clock in the morning. The truck did cut on. That did wake me up, and interesting enough, I wasn't awoken by the noise of the engine starting so much as I was the shaking of the truck. I thought that was fairly interesting because you couldn't really tell the engine was running other than the vibration from the cab. My truck was surrounded by other trucks, and if they idled last night, I never heard it. So that truck is very well insulated. There is a curtain between the driver's cab and the bunk, and it's an insulated curtain. And it's a fantastic curtain because I cranked that air conditioning last night to 62 all night, and it was freezing back there. And I did that for a specific reason. That's about as cold as it would go. I really wanted to stress the battery system here to see how long it would last and when the truck would idle. So we hammered the AC pretty much nonstop for about 6 hours. I thought that was pretty impressive. There'll be a lot of variables in play with ambient temperatures. You may not get the same mileage if you're in Arizona in August as I did in South Carolina in September. But overall, I was fairly impressed with the sleeping experience. I'm very well rested, and I'm ready to take this truck and the trailer to Charlotte, North Carolina.